So what we're going to review in this video, we're going to look at 4 different listings using Keepa. We're going to look at a good listing to buy, a listing that has a low dip and you should stay away from, and then a listing that Amazon is priced much higher and it's okay to purchase on even though they are selling. And then we're going to look at a listing that Amazon is dominating. So this is a Keepa chart that I would consider a good Keepa chart. This is a Keepa chart you really want to be paying attention to. So here you can see the price is consistent. There's no orange here indicating Amazon jumps on this listing. Down here on the third graph, there's no drastic drops indicating that there's IP complaints being submitted and sellers are being kicked off. Here you can see there's a minor drop, but it looks like people are just running out of stock. But the price is very consistent. Everything just checks out on this listing. This is definitely a product that passes all my checks when I'm checking on Keepa. And even if we go back even further, you could see that when it first started, it was priced really high, and then it kind of found its marketplace value of what the consumer's interested in paying for this product. And it's right around $18. Sometimes it gets a little higher, and then you could see that the rank actually increases. So when the product price increases, it's very common that the rank increases as well because not as many customers are interested in it. So this is the kind of Keepa chart you're looking for when you're trying to find a product to list on Amazon. This is one of the Keepa charts you're looking for. Now, this other product we're going to look at is this Mitchum 3-pack. And so right away what stands out to me is it has a low dip here, right? So you can see we're probably making some money here. It's a 3-pack, so $17.49, we're probably making some money, but then consistently, the price just keeps getting lower and lower and lower, and then it gets a little higher, and then it kind of evens out at $12.99. This is a product that will always wave a red flag in front of my face, and I'm like, hey, well, that's interesting. The rank's getting lower, but the price is getting lower. Maybe people are just being really competitive. Everybody's sourcing it, so there's a lot of sellers on this listing. Right now, it's currently unavailable, but this is always a red flag here. Whenever you see this steady decline in price, means it's just getting lower and lower and lower. So I, just because of that decrease, would stay away from this listing. Now the next listing we're going to look at is a listing where Amazon is priced higher. So here, once again, we have a Mitchum. This is a 6-pack. And now this is an exception to the rule where you could sell on a listing that Amazon is selling on. And what you're looking for is a consistent buy box price that's much lower than Amazon's listed price. So you can see here when I hover over these dots, the buy box price is an FBA seller at $16.35 and Amazon's listed way up top at $26.94. Right? And even when Amazon drops their price over here, the buy box seller is at $16.63 and Amazon's almost $1.50 higher at $17.74. And if we expand this to a year, we'll see that common trend here that Amazon's always listed much higher on this listing, sometimes over $10 more than what the buy box price is. So whenever I see Amazon on a listing like this, I'm perfectly okay, and you should be perfectly okay jumping all over this listing, because that's an indication that they're not going to be competed for the buy box and they're not going to have to give you any troubles when you're selling on this listing. Now, the last listing we're going to look at when you're analyzing Keepa is a listing where Amazon is dominating the buy box. So here we have a product that's currently shipped and sold by Amazon. It has 4 other sellers on it. Let's just take a quick look at those 4 other sellers. So Amazon Warehouse Deals is on it in an open like new box. And then Amazon has the buy box, even though they're back ordered at $17.36. And then Ultra Design, he's $10 higher. He's just priced ridiculous. He's never going to win the buy box at that price. But let's take a look at this listing here. And now this is a good indication that Amazon's dominating the buy box. So let's expand it to a year. And you can see all these dots here. And you'll be able to see that Amazon is dominating the buy box. So Amazon, new third party. So there is some third party FBAs getting some buy box in there. But Amazon's always at the same exact price, right? You can see there Amazon dominating the buy box. you could see all of these, they say Amazon at the bottom in the buy box. So that means Amazon is winning the buy box. Here's a third-party seller winning the buy box, but then it's back to Amazon. Third-party seller, back to Amazon. This is a listing that Amazon, this is consistently, you see it says buy box 1736 Amazon. So Amazon's consistently dominating the buy box on here. This is a listing you do not want to purchase inventory for. So those are just 4 different listings that you want to be analyzing Keepa for. The first one is a good listing where everything checks out. Price is consistent. You're consistently making money. There's no presence of Amazon. The next has a low dip or a low decline that just consistently decreases down, and it means the price is getting lower and lower, usually to competition or because of inventory levels. The sellers on those listings have a lot of inventory and they're trying to move that inventory. The next listing we looked at is a listing where Amazon is priced higher than the consistent buy box price, and that is a listing that you can purchase inventory for and you can make a lot of money selling on those listings. We make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling on listings that Amazon sells, if not more. It might even be millions of dollars a year selling on listings that Amazon sells. So you should be selling on those listings as well. And the last one we took a look at was a listing that Amazon is dominating the buy box. Now these are listings that you want to stay away from because Amazon will not give up that buy box, and you will have that inventory sitting in there sometimes 6, 9, even 12 months getting charged inventory storage fees, and you're not going to be able to turn that money. If you have $1,000, even a couple $100 tied up in a product that's just sitting in Amazon, because even if you drop your price 5 cents, Amazon matches it, and they have the buy box. You drop it 10 cents, they match it, dominate the buy box. You drop it 25 cents, doesn't matter. They will keep going lower and lower on the listings that they dominate the buy box on. And then also we went over how to review this third graph down here, looking for IP complaints on a listing, and also to make sure that when you're looking at a listing, you're also checking who the seller is. If there's other sellers on the listing, don't forget, just because a product only has 3 sellers on it does not mean you can't purchase it if you do your research properly. Now, usually 2 sellers or less, we stay away from it. But 3 sellers, do your research, because there might be a lot of opportunity to make some serious money on that listing because a lot of people are staying away from it. But if you're using these tactics that I'm showing you, you'll be able to make some money on those listings and make money on a lot of those listings. So here, just to recap, we got sold by GK Hair, who's the manufacturer. And when you're looking at this chart down here, you can see that it drops from 2 sellers to 1 seller pretty frequently, and most consistently it's at 1 seller, and then whenever a second seller jumps in, they're only on the listing for a day or 2 and then they get kicked off. So that's a huge indication that the listing is submitting IP complaints, the brand owner submitting IP complaints. And then something else to keep in mind too is super consistent pricing for a very long time. So this one goes all the way back to, how old is this listing? It should say it here, 284 days, so a little less than a year, and it's pretty much been the same price for an entire year. So that's another indication that the brand is consistently selling it, and they probably will attempt to or get you kicked off the listing. And that's it. That wraps up this video. Check you in the next one. Stay lit.